You've been the most talked about talent in boxing for a good while. Why is that?
Spence just keeps coming. I was just going to say, that's the feeling. That was the right way.
Fight fans, welcome back. As this challenging year draws to a close, the biggest names in boxing are coming back out to stake their claim for pound supremacy.
By Danny Garcia! You haven't gotten a ton of credit. As an amateur or pro, what did you prove tonight?
I always been overlooked. Maybe it's the green eyes, the light skin. I look like a pretty boy. But I'm a killer, baby.
Garcia holding his ground, as I said, that's what he does so well, and doesn't get enough credit for it when it counters. He holds his ground and plants himself.
Heading to center stage in Dallas, a Texan southpaw stylist against a heavy-handed Philadelphia finisher. One man breaks opponents' downs, outboxes, and destroys. The other possesses a left hook so deadly it can end a contest at any second. With 42 knockouts between them, fireworks are expected when two 147-pound titans collide. In the latest installment of our Closer Look series, we present Errol "The Truth" Spence versus Danny "Swift" Garcia. Welcome to a Motivedia presentation. At boxing's highest level, the ring is an unforgiving place. Where hidden truths are exposed for the world to see. Entering less than 100% can be a recipe for disaster.
He's knocked Mike Tyson down!
A year ago, Errol Spence Jr. was violently ejected from his Ferrari. With his career in serious jeopardy, Spence was lucky to be alive. Simply stepping back in the ring is an achievement, but Spence has opted to return right where he left off, competing at the top level.
It's Manny Pacquiao, with his Terrence Crawford, or with his Danny Garcia. I do want the top names, and I do want to be the undisputed welterweight champion of the world.
Physical scars remain. How deep the mental wounds lie after a near-fatal mistake, only time will tell. Following a solid amateur career that included a trip to the 2012 Olympic Games,
fancies himself to be the stronger of the two. That was another good left hand, and he doubled up to the side of the head. Good little sequence from the sturdy American.
And the most vivid memory I had was just meeting all the athletes, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. I'm like, man, you know, I'm Olympian just like them.
Spence's reputation grew from gym whispers.
Oh, God! I remember being in Colorado, and he just walked through everybody. Right after that, we went to San Antonio, and he walked through everybody again.
Whispers that stemmed from the tough sparring work he was giving to a generational kingpin.
I told you the guy was pushing me. He was giving me that good work. I said, no, kind of caught me off guard. I said, okay, I see him.
I watched him and Floyd in camp. He gave Floyd some great work. But then he happens to be left-handed, he happens to be bigger, and Errol is a beast.
As soon as I got in the ring, people started beating on the mat. Ooh. You know,
it's doghouse.
Yeah, doghouse, and I've never been to a gym like that.
Rising swiftly through the paid ranks,
His professional debut, you see his amateur record.
A three-time U.S. National Amateur Champion, and he's only 22 years old.
Good body shot by Spence. And 3 to the head by Spence in very quick order.
dispensing with 15 opponents in 2 years, The Truth was visibly backing up those rumors with some devastating displays.
What is it like, again, the difference between the amateur and the pros now that you're 2 fights in?
The main difference is no headgear and no computer scoring.
He's bending his legs, trying to get more leverage.
Thank the holy trio. I feel like CEO. I'm better than my dream. I don't glow, I beam. My price just went way up. But I'm free.
Bam, right there. See, he kept ducking. Every time he ducked, I met him with the left hook.
His 2 most recent victories have cemented the 30-year-old status. First, using patient skills to break down and beat up an undersized Mikey Garcia.
This fight, of course. But right now, he's too busy protecting himself from this onslaught of Errol Spence's.
And still, the IBF welterweight champion of the world.
then outpointing Sean Porter, a powerful world champion who pushes every foe to the limit.
But on his back foot, nice shot to the butt. Hard work to the body that hurt Thurman just like Collazo did.
Living in fear on this street. God give me everything I need. No more scraps, I'm about to get a seat.
I feel like I'm the best welterweight in the division, and I want this fight. I'm the IBF champion of the world. I'm Errol Spence Jr., I'm the truth.
I feel like CEO, I'm better than my dream. I don't glow, I beam. My price just went way up.
There's a man standing here to our right.
But I'm free.
While Spence could have eased his way back into the limelight, he has declined the path of least resistance. After such a life-changing event, Errol's comeback opponent will put him straight to the test. Danny Garcia, a two-time world champion who shot to prominence in 2012 with a crushing finish of Amir Khan.
Down goes Pat off a sensational counter left hook by Garcia.
Not just a puncher, Garcia showed against Lucas Matisse that he can defuse and confuse heavy-handed destroyers as well.
That one in. Right hand to the body, three-punch combination. Garcia has Matisse down.
Make no mistake, this would be a legitimate examination of Spence at any point in his career. Boasting a 107-13 amateur slate, Garcia is a skilled counterpuncher with a dynamite left hook. Danny does the fighting. His controversial father and trainer, Angel, does the talking.
Oh, fans don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. I know everything.
Garcia's early body of work matches that of his December 5th rival. Swift scalped the likes of Morales, Judah, and Malignaggi.
That's it. That's it. Holy, I seen enough. I seen enough.
Trainer got in the ring, and it's over, y'all.
That's it. Just like that. Catch by Garcia, man. He's feeling over. Great exchange, and down goes Judah. Straight right hand through the guard.
Winning titles at super lightweight and building up a wealth of knowledge along the way. In his most recent outing, Garcia tamed the charismatic and unpredictable Ukrainian Ivan Er Terrible Redkach, a big punching southpaw just like Spence.
Just three different.
Redkach could prove to be the perfect preparation for Garcia ahead of his stadium showdown. Despite the potential that he might, at some point, feel the strain of those physical ailments suffered last October, Errol Spence enters the ring holding many of the cards. 2 years younger than his opponent, Spence will enjoy a significant reach advantage. All the better for establishing range behind his powerful jab, keeping Garcia on the outside. The unified IBF and WBC welterweight kind also boasts an extra 1.5 inches in height. However, neither man is past his sell-by date. Their paths are crossing at an interesting point. Garcia knows what it takes to win at Boxing Summit, but he also knows what it's like to taste bitter defeat. Across 38 pro bouts on 2 occasions, Garcia has been narrowly outpointed, but never dominated. Almost 18 months apart, the Pennsylvania man pushed both Keith Thurman and Sean Porter to the wire, causing issues for both, not just with his vaunted left hook, but also with the overhand right. Across 8 years, 120 rounds, 26 contests, Errol Spence has always had his hand raised at the conclusion. Controlling distance when moving side to side, Spence occasionally leans away and finds himself off balance. Garcia will be ready to capitalize. As both men bring fight-ending punch power,
This is not an
if this pay-per-view headliner ignites, then fans will be in for a treat. When the contest inevitably heads to the trenches, neither competitor will be inclined to back down, and it may become a battle of power and resilience. Garcia has been accused in the past of being inflexible and only fighting at one pace. Spence's ability to box and move, tagging the body and employing a ramrod southpaw jab, will undoubtedly cause problems. Swift is a quality counterpuncher, and if he can find gaps in Spence's defense, just like Shawn Porter and Kell Brook were able to do, then the champion could suddenly become an inviting target. Occasionally criticized for a lack of head movement,
And then it would become a dogfight, and in round 5 we saw...
Spence will look to create openings for his scything power shots rather than standing straight in front of his opponent. By now an experienced pro, Garcia will not be fazed by Spence's southpaw stance. Defensively responsible with a solid chin, if Garcia lets his hands loose and goes for Spence, it could make for an exciting firefight that leaves both men open to a stunning ending.
Oh! Big right by Garcia!
Confident in his own ability, Garcia would have been relishing the opportunity to fight Spence when the bout was first announced. Given Spence's car crash and subsequent recuperation, he will be under intense scrutiny come fight night, not only from a captivated paying audience at home, but also live spectators in the arena. Until the accident, this unified champion was riding high, with plenty of conceivable matchups against the best welterweights to come. After defeating Shawn Porter, he would have been a strong favorite to overcome Danny Garcia's challenge.
I've been calling you guys out for a long time, like I said, tables will turn.
That shocking night last October might just have flipped the script.
But like I said, I'm a Errol Spence Jr., I'm the truth.
Errol will need to be at full capacity to prevail. He refused a tune-up to see where he's at, opting to go straight back in against one of the best available. If this new version of Spence is not on the level we've grown accustomed to seeing in the past, Danny will be primed and ready to take advantage and claim the biggest win of his career. An impressive victory for Errol Spence, given the remarkable circumstances, will only further confirm his credentials as one of boxing's superstar names. As always, the ring will reveal the truth.